Hello and welcome to MINYIP. I'm your host, Blake, and I'm joined by Clinton for our FPL Gameweek 16 preview show. Clinton, already up to Gameweek 16. How about that?
Yes, the season is flying, Blake. It's been a bit of a whirlwind last couple of game weeks with a few games in a row, and we're about to have the same thing happen this week. So, obviously weekend, midweek, and weekend. So, yep, a lot happening in the FPL world. There's games potentially cancelled. COVID is spreading amongst the teams. So there's a lot happening, and it's hard to keep a track of how we're going to sort out our teams and get FPL points in.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll touch on that a bit later in regards to Game Week 16 fixtures. But yeah, we've been very busy lately doing the Big Bash Supercoach, and so it's good to be back with FPL with the busy fixtures. Let's quickly go through some results of our bold predictions from the last two game weeks, Clinton. So we
Yep.
we did the last two game weeks in one show last week. So game week 14, I got one bold prediction correct for the round, Clinton. I had for the Southampton Leicester game, I had a Leicester defender to get an attacking return, and I believe the defender was it escapes my mind at the moment, Clinton. But you say your prediction, then I'll quickly look it up.
Very good.
Yeah.
So I didn't get any of my score predictions correct, but in terms of my bold predictions, I was close on a couple. I had, for this round, game week 14, I chose Pookie to score at least 10. I think he scored 8 or 9, so I just missed that one.
Yeah.
I selected in the Leeds and Crystal Palace game for there to be a penalty save, and there happened to be a penalty, but wasn't saved by Melier. I also chose Jota to blank. Well, I think we both did.
Yeah, we did. We definitely did.
And what happened at the end? He scored a very late. Was it a goal or an assist? Anyway, he got some points there, and that was a frustrating one. And the only bold prediction that came through for me was James Maddison to score 10 fantasy points, and I believe he did. So that was one that came through for me.
Yeah, my Leicester defender to score a goal was Evans. It seems like a fair while ago, game week 14, Clinton.
It does.
Yeah, it was a very late goal there that Melier didn't save that penalty. Game week 15.
Sorry, but we'll just quickly talk just on game week 14. We won't go through it, obviously, but how we scored. So how did you score yourself with game week 14?
Okay, you want to touch on that now? Okay.
Oh, yeah, sure. I'll go through my team. So my team...
That'll be good.
I scored 53, and I went down another 260,000 in ranking after game week 14. So it wasn't a great round for me, that one. And yeah, once again, that was due to the fact that my Man City triple defense didn't come through, and just another disappointing game week for me on that one.
How many points did you score? Sorry, game week 14.
Game week 14, I scored 53.
For some reason I thought I had a bad game week. I scored 64 in the end. That's right.
That's probably more average score.
Yeah, the average was 58. I got saved in the end. I had Reguilon score 12 points, Son score 8, so 20 points between my two Tottenham players. They're in doubt of playing this week, and I'll probably have to transfer them. But 64 points, so just above average. Reguilon 12, Son 8, Salah as captain scoring 30, and that was the only players. Cornet scored 3 points, and other than that, they were the only players to score above 2 points for me. So that recaps game week 14. The last game week that was played, game week 15, I didn't get any of my bold predictions correct, but I did get one score prediction correct, which was my Spurs. They won 3-0 against Norwich. How did you go, Clinton, for your bold predictions and score predictions for that game week?
Pretty close. I had Tottenham to win 2-0. I got one score prediction correct, and that was Southampton and Brighton to draw 1-1. And then with our bold predictions, we were choosing players who were going to score goals. And
Yeah, that's right.
I got a couple. So my boy, I've heard different pronunciations for this guy, and he's in my team. Breuer is, I think it's the way it's pronounced now.
Not
I was
Broha.
saying, I was saying Breuer. I think it's Breuer.
Yeah,
And the
right.
way he scored, and I chose him, which was a good one. And Odegaard for Arsenal. The only good thing to come out of the game was the fact that I chose Odegaard as my bold prediction. And another close one for me, I chose Buendia for Aston Villa, but he got an assist, not a goal, which wasn't a bad one as well. So I got, game week 14, I got one bold prediction correct, and then throughout game week 15, I got one score prediction and two bold predictions correct.
Yeah, very good. Well played there, Clinton, because the risk we took going into this game week was we didn't know what was going to happen the round before. So there's about 3 or 4 players here who didn't actually end up playing at all, let alone scoring a goal. I had Simicast, Shaw, Galhart, which we had a pronunciation issue over for Leeds.
Was that Gallagher?
Yeah, who you thought was Gallagher. Galhar, he didn't play any minutes. So, none of my players got even close to scoring a goal, I think. And the only game where I had no goals scored was Southampton Brighton, and they each scored one.
Had another close one. I chose Diaz to score in game week 15, and he actually scored a goal in game week 14. So just chose the wrong game week for that one.
Yeah, it's unlucky.
Thanks,
game week 15, my team scored 50 points, so just above average again. The average is 43. My differential pick for the round, which saved me, I had Son as captain, which in the end scored me 26 points. He came through with the goods for me there. I was below average. I was on about 30, must have been high 30 points going into that last game, and then he saved him as my captain. My only players to score any points really were Trent Alexander-Arnold scored 9, Salah 6, and Son, and they were the only players to score above 2 for me again. It was good to see Broha on my bench score 8 points. I'm going to stick with Broha, Clinton.
You go. You do your own thing, Blake. That's right.
Yeah. So he scored 8 points on my bench. So that was good to see. Yeah.
Okay. So my team, I scored 47. I had Edison in goal for 3. My premium defense didn't go very well. I had Rudiger for 1, Reece James for a donut. Diaz and Cancelo had two apiece. Trent scored 9. My midfield read Gallagher to Sadio Mane, who's been an inspired selection recently. He scored 3. And Bumo scored me 5. Salah as captain scored me 12. And I did field Breuer. I did have him on field for 8 points. And then on my bench, I had Antonio on my bench who did get an assist for 5, King 1, and Sissoko 2. So I actually chose to bring in King early. I got rid of Huang for King, and I'm pretty happy with that selection going into the next month because he's in good form, and Watford are looking pretty good. So I'm happy to have him up front for me.
And how did your overall ranking go after game week 15?
Yeah, so I had a small rise. Despite only scoring 47, I'm that far back that I did go up a little bit. So I'm still in the 2.7 million ranks, but I'm hoping soon enough we'll start seeing some bulk increases, but not as yet.
You were slightly above the average there, Clinton. You were 4 points above the average. I must have went down in the rankings from game week 14, and so I had a slight rise after game week 15. I am about 830,000 overall, so happy to get the rise, and I've got 2 free transfers coming into this game week where there's a fair bit happening with the fixtures, Clinton. Our league. Yep.
Sorry, Blake. Can I say one more thing? So on the app itself now, so updated, I think pretty recently, but when you look at your leagues, you can now look at cups. I'm not sure if you've looked at this, but you can go through that, and obviously it's an elimination process, and each cup can start at different game weeks. For example, our league cup doesn't say it's going to start until game week 33 or 32.
32,
but the overall cup, I believe, starts this game week 16. So it's always something I look at each year, and it's always good to monitor how you go. And I know personally last year, I think I bombed out maybe the first or second game week of the cup, but then my team just went on a bit of a tear, and I just was lamenting the fact I lost early, because my team was scoring really well for a long period of time, and I wish I had just got through early, because I would have gone a long way. But here's what it is. Depends on, it's a random matchup, so it's something I like to watch each game week. And the overall cup starts this game week.
Yeah, sure does. I'm just looking at that now. I'm playing against Anathi Masawana. So good luck to you, Anathi. I'm sure you'll be watching this show and looking at my team to try and compete against me.
And if you want to find out how it works, it obviously says on the app. So if you go into it, it says which round it starts, and then it describes exactly how the cup works. So for me, it's always something extra to keep an eye on.
Yeah, absolutely. Our league, Clinton, our league placings haven't really changed too much, but David and Scott are still battling out. There's only 12 points separating him. Scott's on top. David's chasing him down, and I'm sure they're both messaging each of us respectively about each of how they're performing. And Scott's a bit nervous about David catching him, Clinton, as we've been saying for the last 3 game weeks.
He probably should be.
Yeah. He knows his stuff, David. Andrew's in 3rd. Thomas, who's Scott's mate's, in 4th, and Paul is in 5th. So hasn't changed too much there for the top 5. But a special mention, who's been going on a tear for the last few weeks, our mate Tyler Zebra. He's I found out this week that he's one of Scott's mates as well. So Scott's been giving out advice to his mates, and they're all performing very well. They're almost taking over our league, Scott and his crew of FPL performers. So well done, Tyler, for your performance over the last couple of game weeks, and we look forward to seeing how this top 5 finishes out. Still a long season to go for FPL, Clinton. A lot can happen, and hopefully we'll be able to make our way into the top 5 there.
Especially over the next month. As we experienced last week, there's a lot of fixtures, and now there's going to be a lot of chaos. So we'll speak about it later, but with the Tottenham situation and the amount of fixtures, there's lots of rotation. All it takes is 1 or 2 game weeks. You can make a lot of ground. So that's what I'm hoping can happen for Dash's Dogs, at least.
Yep. Dash's Dogs has been in the spotlight lately for BBL Super Coach, but hopefully Dash's Dogs can lift a bit for FPL. Whose turn is it to go first for our bold predictions for game week 16, Clinton? You or I?
Let's go. I'll go first for you, Blake.
Very good. So your bold predictions and your score prediction, please.
No worries. So game week 16. First game I've got is Brentford and Watford. My score. What will we do first? My bold prediction. My bold prediction is that King, my boy, will get 2 attacking returns.
Wow.
And Watford will win 2-1.
Okay, 2-1. Very good. I've got a high-scoring FPL asset in Henry to score 10-plus FPL points for the game, and the score to be 1-1. So Henry will be involved in the only goal for Brentford.
Very good. Now, before I mention the next game in Man City and Wolves, the next 6 games, I've got very similar score predictions. And it's just one of those random game weeks where I can see some convincing victories. And the next 6 games...
It's funny, just before you go through that, Clinton, we don't tell each other our predictions before recording. this could be very similar for the both of us here. Go ahead.
Well, let me just say my score predictions for the next 6 games are all the same, and they're all 3-0. So, so I just think that it's pretty random that
that's ridiculous.
Well,
Continue. No, it's ridiculous how similar my predictions are. Go ahead.
Well, it's just something that I can see happening. So, no, City and Wolves. The guy is just in such good form, and he got rested midweek. And Bernardo Silva, whether it's 2 attacking returns or 10, I'll go with 10 plus fantasy points, and I've got 3 zip, obviously.
It's a very interesting prediction, Clinton. My bold prediction is my bold prediction is that Bernardo da Silva is going to blank. And my score prediction is 4-0.
Okay. Well, hopefully I'm correct on that bold prediction, because I'll get to my team later. Okay, Arsenal and Southampton. Arsenal, wowee, what a week. So much confidence I've been on these recordings, and now in the last 2 game weeks they've gone from a big game against Man United and faltering late, and then to lose to Everton was very disappointing. But they would come back this game week because they're playing Southampton at home. Southampton have a lot of issues, especially down back. Arsenal, I think, will win 3-0. Sorry, I meant to say my bold prediction first. I think this is the time for Lacazette. Aubameyang's out of form. Lacazette finally is going to get his chance to perform, and he will score at least 10 fantasy points.
Yeah, he's overdue for these points, Clinton.
Yes, he is. He is.
Sorry, I missed this game. I've got my bold prediction is Ramsdale to have 6+ saves.
Okay.
And the score will be a 0-0 draw. This is my.
Why?
you love my Arsenal predictions.
No.
But,
well,
they're out of form. I can't see them winning, but I see a low-scoring game in this one at least. Anyway.
Yeah. Well, I disagree. Arsenal bounce back. Okay, Chelsea and Leeds. And once again, I've chosen another player to perform, which I've sort of backed in recently. I've literally written his name down a couple of times, I think, recently. Lukaku. This is the time for Lukaku. It's his time now. He's going to score at least 10 fantasy points, and Chelsea will win 3-0.
Very good. Hopefully Chelsea can put some goals on the board. I've got Alonso to score a goal from a set piece, and they will win 4-0.
Okay, good. Liverpool and Aston Villa. Despite Villa being in great form, they're meeting a different beast. Stevie G back on his home turf, but it's not going to happen. It's not going to be a great visit for him. Liverpool, just a powerhouse. Surely this time, Sadio Mane. It is Sadio time. And once again, I'll get to my team later, but I might do something bold this week. And Mane will score at least 10 fantasy points. And believe it or not, Liverpool will win 3-0.
So when you brought Mane in, Clinton, he was the 3rd highest scoring player in FPL for the season.
Yes.
He scored 3, 2, and 3 since you brought him in, just so you know.
I'm well aware, thank you.
Just checking you're aware. So he hasn't scored 10 points over the last 3 game weeks.
Well, this time it's happening.
I've got Trent to score a goal from a set piece and Liverpool to win 4-0.
Okay. Norwich, Manchester United. A player that I really like and I'm a big fan of is Marcus Rashford. I think he's looking quite dangerous. Ronaldo obviously is the main figurehead up front, but I think Rashford's coming into some nice form. He'll score at least 10 fantasy points and United will win 3-0.
Very good. My bold prediction, being the...
that is a bold prediction because...
That is, yeah.
They're not very good defensively.
Yeah. No, I accept your bold prediction. My bold prediction is that Ronaldo blanks and Man United will win 3-0.
Nice. Brighton and Tottenham, I have 0 notes and 0 predictions because almost certainly it's not going to happen. So
Yeah.
I didn't even bother thinking about it. And if you have Tottenham assets in your team, it's panic stations. Okay, next game. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
Go, Blake.
No, I was just going to say the latest update I saw was 8 players and 3 staff members had COVID. So I highly doubt that game will go ahead.
And even next week.
And they had the good fixture run as well. So they'd be highly owned players. So a lot of managers will be looking to get these players out of their team, if they haven't already done so. Son's in 20% of teams, Regulon 17%, Kane 8%, even Dyer 6%, Iloris 8.8%. So
what'd you call your goalkeeper?
Hugo Alus.
Anyway, next game, Burnley and West Ham. Now, similar to Mane, I think Antonio has been a disappointment of the last several game weeks. A lot of people have sold him, but finally he's going to score. Finally, he's going to score at least 10 fantasy points, and West Ham will win 3-0.
Very good. My bold prediction after I think he got benched last game. I'm hoping he's even available for selection this game. I've got Ben Rama to score 10 FPL points and West Ham to win 2-0.
Yeah, it's a bit of a risky pick. I think it was benched. If there's someone
that's why it's a bold prediction. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, just take it edgy, Blake. But I think Jared Bowen is looking really ominous, and that's someone who we need to think about getting in our team. Okay, Leicester and Newcastle. Now this is where my score predictions change. Harvey Barnes, I think, is back into some form. Obviously, Madison is as well, but Harvey Barnes, I think he'll get an attacking return. Is that good enough? He hasn't scored a lot recently, so just an attacking return, is that good enough?
For Barnes?
Yeah. Oh, let's go a goal. I'll back him to score a goal.
He scored a goal last game.
Yeah, he'll score again. And it'll only be 1-1.
Interesting.
Yeah.
My bold prediction is that this will be the only game for the game week where both teams will score 2+ goals.
Okay. Yeah.
And I've got Leicester to win 3-2.
I don't mind that. Good. Crystal Palace at Everton. Once again, another player that a lot of people are selling. Yes, he's in my team. Yes, I've mentioned a few players in my team, but I've gone back to that again. And Gallagher.
I can see where this is going. Yeah.
Well, I can't help just be drawn to certain players who I want to perform, and I want to be bold with my predictions. Gallagher and Gallagher to score a goal, and the score will be 2-2.
My bold prediction was I've written it down if you don't believe me. Gallagher to score 10 FPL points. And I've got Crystal Palace to win 1-0.
Just looking at my bold predictions, yes, I did choose 5 players who are in my team, and I really want to score, so that's why I've chosen. Yes.
No, I like it, Clinton. You're barracking for your team each and every week.
I need one of these game weeks is going to come through.
Yeah, we can only hope for you, mate. Well, so we'll go through my current team as it stands. I've got 2 transfers to make to this. So there's obviously some players with some red flags on here at the moment. So Guaita in goal, Cancelo, Alonso, Trent Alexander-Arnold, Reece James, Reguilon, who will be getting sold very, very shortly. Gallagher, Son, who will be getting sold. Mo Salah, Cornet, Lukaku. My bench is Foster, who's got a red flag on him. Roja, who's playing against Arsenal away this weekend. Basuma, and Galhart. Corne's currently got a yellow flag on him, 75% chance playing with a thigh injury. But the players I will most likely need to get out of my team are Reguilon and Son. So the players that I'm currently considering, Clinton, I need another.
I'm really intrigued.
Obviously, so I need a defender and a midfielder. They're at a quite awkward price just about. I could go up, one down. I've got about 15K to spend, 15 mil to spend. My plan was to bring in Robertson for Liverpool, which would mean I have 8.6 in the bank to downgrade Son.
Yes.
And even though my bold prediction, which I wrote down without even thinking, was Bernardo da Silva.
Bernardo da Silva. Is his new name.
Yeah. Bernardo da Silva. He's only 7.6. So at this stage, it'll be Reguilon and Son to Robertson and Bernardo.
I like those transfers, Blake.
Yeah. Yep. Robertson's surprisingly in only 2.5% of teams, Clinton.
Do you know why?
You tell me.
Mo Salah is relatively well owned.
Yes, yeah.
And so is Trent. And then the majority of people have Jota.
Yes.
The vast majority of, active good managers have him. We don't. And and yes, I chose to go the Mane route, and that's been disappointing. But that's the reason why he's so low. And he had an injury about a month ago, and he's came back, and it's a good differential.
I thought you were about to break some breaking news to me about an injury or an international fixture or something as to why people weren't selecting him. But you're right. It is
obvious.
People
three options.
People have Jota. So that's my plans. Some other players that I did like around the price, Clinton, for a Son replacement. I did like the Leicester assets in Maddison and Barnes. They're still a great value. They're both in form. So I did like them as well. Rafinha, who's in a lot of teams. So there's a few players around that mid-price for the midfield, which I can afford. So I haven't made my transfers yet, so I am tempted to find some differentials there.
Yeah, you can go differentials, but sometimes if it's an obvious pick like Bernardo Silva, he's in such good form. I think it's just sometimes if there's an obvious option, it's obvious for a reason. The guy's in form, and Man City have great fixtures, and so completely up to you, but that's the way I've learnt. So have you finished with your team?
Yeah, I've been calling him Bernardo da Silva because of the full length of his name. Oh no, okay. FPL. Bernardo Mota Veja de Carvalho e Silva.
Yeah, good luck saying that again. Okay. So my team, I have 2 free transfers, and in a rarity, I've already made them. Main reason being Bernardo Silva is a player that I really wanted, and I had to do it before he rose in price. And the fact that I have 3 Man City defensive assets, I thought at the time a few weeks ago it was a smart thing. I didn't think there would be an attacking option that would pop up that I'd really want because of the rotation risk. But Bernardo's barely missed any minutes throughout the year. He's in form, and instead of having Ruben Diaz, who's a great option in terms of a season-long pick, I think over the next month, Bernardo will score a lot more points. So I chose to get rid of my premium 5 defense, and I brought in Brandon Williams, who's 3.9 million, and he's not playing, or he's not starting this week versus it's Liverpool. No, sorry, Manchester United. That's his that's his club. So he's not starting this week. But I think he's a good bench option because he's starting at Norwich, and you never know if he needs to come on, he might score me 2 points, and that's maybe all I need. But so I got rid of Diaz for Williams, and I got rid of Mbomo. Now that's a bit of a risky move because he's actually got some okay fixtures the next few game weeks, and Tony is out with COVID at the moment, so he has great potential to score. But if I was weighing up the options, I'd rather just take the risk now. He hasn't scored a lot of points, and he's obviously hitting the post a million times. And it was time to make a move for Bernardo and trying to get that Man City attacking option. So I've made those transfers already, and looking at my team, I'm really happy with it going into this game week. So I've said that the last month, and that hasn't quite worked out. But Edison in goal, Rudiger, Trent, Cancelo, Reece James. My midfield reads Gallagher, Salah, Mane, Bernardo, and up front is Antonio and King. And on my bench is Breuer, Sissoko, and Williams. And there's one more thing, Blake, and that is,
here we go.
Mo Salah is the obvious captain. He's the best player in the world, although he came about 7th in the Ballon d'Or, which is unbelievable. I think one of these game weeks, whether it be this one or the next, I just know Mane is going to have a big game. Why are you laughing at me?
Because you've been just barracking for him every show for the last 3 game weeks since you brought him in.
I know. So I just think there's one of these game weeks where Mane's going to have a big game. And obviously it's been disappointing that I brought Mane in instead of Jota, and Jota scored about 35 points the last 3 weeks, and Mane scored about, 7 or 8?
Yeah, 8,
so it's backfired massively. But I just know one of these game weeks before he potentially goes to the Africa Cup, whenever that happens in a few weeks, Mane's going to have a big game. So it might be this week that I say, Mane, captain, he's going to score 16 fantasy points, and Salah will maybe just get 1 assist, and I will rise massively in the ranks. So I'm not sure if I'll go through with it now that I've pumped it all up. I guess I have to now, but I'm really happy with the team.
I think you have to, Clint. You do it now. Put him your captain right now and don't change it. I think you have to now.
Oh, okay. Don't.
You pumped him up.
Yeah, well, I'm doing it. I'm doing it.
All right, very good.
So lock in Mane blank and lock in Salah 4 goals. But I'm happy with my team. So Mane, let's go. Captain it is.
Wow, that's huge. I'm tempted to go Lukaku as my captain, but
too risky.
That is too risky with the minutes.
That's like bringing Mane so Jota. That's too risky.
Well, we won't even talk about how I got Lukaku in. Actually, it's I swapped him for Ronaldo essentially, and then Ronaldo dominated. We'll leave it at that.
Arsenal.
I'm going to captain Salah. So we'll leave it at that.
Very good.
Yeah, that wraps up our show, Clinton. We had no questions on our Twitter. Can I just
mention one more thing? Sorry, Blake.
Absolutely.
The big thing is the Tottenham assets, and you're just selling yours immediately.
I will be. Yeah.
At this stage, we haven't heard definitively if it's definitely off. I mean, there's still a chance it goes ahead, and the amount of players who have COVID will just sit out. But and then obviously the big unknown of the fact that is over the course of the next, once the game week starts, there's 3 games in a space for a week. So smart option is to get rid, but there's a chance it goes ahead, and there's a chance that whether it be Son or Reguilon, for example, still score well. So I'd wait until you get the news, and then if it might get announced how long they won't play. But I think definitely just wait on those Tottenham assets, because as you mentioned, there's a lot of people who have 2 or 3 of them, and I wouldn't go completely ripping up your team, but just be smart with it, because yeah, we're into that fixture chaos already, and now with this is another curveball. So yeah, it's all interesting. Now there's also rumours I think I saw about Leicester having COVID issues as well. So that's why I'd probably in your space probably hesitate as well about the Madison pick or Barnes, whoever you're going for. So yeah, there's a lot to consider. But although I did my transfers early, I suggest waiting for all the news and obviously keep up to date with it all, because yes, the game weeks are happening pretty thick and fast, and this is where the managers who pay attention and are up to date with all the news, they're the ones who make good ground and stay high in the ranks.
Yeah, well, that's the other thing with the Leicester assets. They play against Tottenham in 2 weeks. So, yeah, it's definitely something to consider. I'm just looking on Twitter as we speak, Clinton, and Tottenham were supposed to play a UEFA Europa Conference League game. That got called off today. So it's not looking great, but we'll wait and see on the news. That's why I'm holding off on my transfers till as late as I can, which for us, the game week starts on Saturday morning. So I'll be making my transfers on Friday night. So I might even see you when I make my transfers, Clinton. So that'll be good.
We can do a live transfer, Blake.
That'll be great to see. I'll post it on our MINYIP Twitter for our followers. That's all good, Clinton. Thank you for joining us.
Maybe not sober.
We'll see how we go. Very good, Clinton. Thank you for joining us again for our FPL Gameweek16 preview show. We'll see you for our next show.
Good stuff, Blake.